Thank you. So while the stage is being set up, எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு கேள்வி. இந்த செஷன்ல இருந்து what is your expectation? What do you want to take away from this? ஒரு கேள்வி இல்லை அப்படின்னா நான் வேற ஏதாவது பேசிட்டு இருப்பேன். Maybe irrelevant, right? Any specific questions, or I'll let me lead with an example. So very early in my IT career, I was building an app, right? OTT platform. Everything was fantastic and live, and then IPL happened. Site did not survive first 10 minutes. First 10 minutes, it's a war room, and all my entire hierarchy and the media house entire hierarchy, we were locked in a one room. At that point of time, we didn't have much of all this cloud play and all of that. So we didn't know how to manage the volume or traffic that were coming in, right? So that was one of the challenges that I had to go through when I was building. That's only for Indian market though. It's not even for international market, right? So like this, are there any specific points that you would like to know or understand from the speakers? Okay, so how should I read this? Okay, so I'll go with my own agenda. There are Rajalakshmi goes as Raji, right? She is from Zoho Director Products. For a very long time, I was looking for some women. We talk about diversity, right? I was looking for a woman leader who has been in the IT industry for a very long. So she's in the IT industry for about 26 years now. She has built many products, and whatever the challenges that I have been talking to you about the OTT platform that I built, I think she is solving such problems day in, day out, right? So from monitoring the network, monitoring the volume, how do you set up the database for high volume transactions. So that is her. And one interesting fact on a software side is she is employee number 55 in Zoho. So big round of applause to Raji. Raji, after this session, probably my expectations from your session is there are a lot of women that I see. Probably if few of them could follow you and become like you, that will be fantastic. And then, so typically when we start our career, right, we start in a small company and then go on to join bigger companies, right? My next panelist has done it other way around, right? So he was working in MNC companies, and then I don't know what happened. Did he fed up with the companies and internal politics and then decided to go? Then he started his career, especially on the startups, venture capitalist funded startups. And he seemed to like their journey, and now he is with Chella Software. Vijai Sarathi, welcome. And now Vijay has a very, very unique experience, right? So when you deal with government and highly regulated industry, getting access to a other system is a nightmare, right? You sit with them and then they grill you on your architecture, they grill you on how do you manage PAI, within how much time do you push the data into our system, how long would it take? So he is doing that day in, day out, right? So he is doing it both in financial sector and as well as in healthcare sector as well, right? So I don't know whoever selected the panel. I think this is the very op panel. So the way we would do this, initially we were discussing about setting this up as a moderated session. Then I said, and Raji was very explicit, said, Thiru, I need 30 minutes to talk about all the topics that you wanted me to cover. I said, then how am I going to moderate? Then I said, okay, we'll do a ration. So 10 minutes, each of the speakers are going to speak 10 minutes. And then I have few questions that I would like to ask, and then we will open up to the floor for any questions, right? So முதல்ல நான் கேட்ட மாதிரி நீங்கள் மறுபடியும் கேள்வி கேட்காம இருந்தீங்கன்னா நல்லா இருக்காது. So both of them have traveled from other locations, so please make use of the opportunity. So that's about that. And then on the topic I was looking at why this topic is relevant in the era of AI, right? So when I was doing research, so Tamil Nadu is already a SaaS capital, right? So Chennai is known as a SaaS capital. So Zoho, Raji is from Zoho. For some reason, they want to be private, even for their size. And then Freshworks they are listed in NASDAQ, right? So these are the big names that I can think of, which is built in India but have gone global. But I have never, so when I was researching on are there any challenges with these companies or platforms, I couldn't find anything, right? So there are examples that you can build something local and go global. So from Zoho, Raji will talk about many aspects to be considered while doing that. And then I said, is everything rosy, right? Anybody who started in India and wanted to go global, did they succeed like Zoho and Freshworks, or are there any other stories? To my surprise, I got big names in that list. Uber Eats, they wanted to do it in India. They couldn't compete with the price points and the margins, right? Then similarly, Amazon tried something, Facebook tried something, Xiaomi tried their UPI, right? They could not come into India and become successful, right? So one is building a product is easy. Probably the speakers will talk about how to build, what to build, but there are enough failures also. So how to avoid, learn from those failures, and probably whoever wants to take that journey, do not repeat those mistakes, right? So this is from a development. Now, whoever has gone global, is the life easy? Right? You may be reading about all the cyber security hacks that are happening, and that is also, so like how we are going global, the cyber security threats are also becoming very difficult to manage, right? So both the speakers are going to have, going to talk about this. So first, I would like to Vijay to come and speak for about 10 minutes, and then we will take it from there. Thank you.
Thanks, Thiru. I'm thrilled to be here today and speak to you about technology-driven global products, especially with Rajalakshmi and Thiru. Rajalakshmi being with Zoho since it's founded, and Thiru with extensive leadership experience at HCL. Thiru did cover most of my intro, so I did start in large enterprises. Then went on to do startups and headed engineering at tech startups that had VC backing, did some global scaling and so on. We at Chella Software, we developed mission critical financial market applications for over 25 years. It's been a super exciting journey for us. We have customers in Africa, Middle East, and Asia Pac, and that's been quite thrilling. So for us, in our sector, specifically when we look at global products, for us, correctness is more important than features. So if my architecture can't explain every little data state or every little state change, and there's no audit trail or traceability, then we are not ready for a global scale. So that's where it starts for us. It's architectures. We have to align in a way that will allow us to deploy in different topologies. We have customers who would want us to have our software deployed locally on private clouds or even on public clouds as SaaS. So that configurability, that need to have a neutral deployment stance from our architectures is critical. I'm going to be covering more on on what's required in a regulated environment, specifically with what we do in our sector. If you have any questions, you can ask and I can answer that. Then, of course, traceability. We have a need to have multi-region, regulation compliance. So it has to be an pluggable architecture. We had to have a deep auditability and traceability. And security is one other aspect, right? So it's our go-to-market differentiator, if I put it that way, because we have to have security at an app layer, at a UI layer, and then even in the data layer, at the infrastructure layer also. In fact, even at the infrastructure layer, we wanted to have footprints of who had changed or thumbprints of any data change that has happened. So security is key when we look at a global market. And then interoperability has been another big interesting challenge. So interoperability, when we went out, it was like there were platform ecosystems that were already there. We had to have support for standards, be it ISO standards or standard messaging formats. And then interoperability with local partners. When you go out, there will be incumbents and partners that you have to work with. You probably have local partners who could take you to customers if your application stack can work with them, with their technology. So that's something that would enable growth, build ecosystems in different regions if you are interoperable. And then lastly, I would say all of this, and I think also the AI part that Lakshmi Narayan sir had covered earlier, helping you to leapfrog and so on. But one thing that comes in is, and something that we miss early on is when we look at global products and global scale, DevOps culture is important. Fluid releases, new features need to be added and so on. So DevOps culture, building it early on, very critical. And now with AI, you also need documentation discipline. Otherwise we'll be stuck in. Previously it used to be tech debt. Now it's prompt debt. Good luck if you don't have good documentation getting your AI to do some stuff for you. So so documentation is required. DevOps, especially with customers asking for increasingly asking for AppSec, DevOps to do different deployments. Infrastructure as code and so on. I covered about how some customers would want a different deployment topology and so on. If you have strong DevOps, all of this is taken care. Else you are stuck with expensive re-architectures or expensive retrofitting your features as your customers grow globally. So that's a quick drill down on what is required for a global product. Especially since I come from a tech background, it's mostly just touched on tech and architecture alignment, plus probably sprinkled a little bit on what my insights have been. Do you have any questions on this? Okay. Yeah, so adapters. So when we go to multi-regions, right, there were requirements that data has to reside locally, and then there are different requirements around, for example, KYC, how some region does, and how certain geographies treat some data locality where it should be. All of this is, if you architect in a way that, and we have around 11 to 12 such architecture patterns where we have defined adapters. So we're defining on the region. We don't change the core flow, but some adapters of it are customized for that region. So that's what I meant by pluggable architectures. Yes. Yeah, so interoperability, so that API, open API spec, interoperability, having a presence, and we are working on some of these things too. Having some GitHub examples of how to operate with us, all of that helps. And specifically useful to grow a local ecosystem in other regions. If I give examples of how we can integrate with some big local tech that's there, it will help us penetrate better. Thank you.
Good morning, or rather good afternoon, all of you. Yeah, so happy to be here in Madurai. I just flew in today morning from Chennai, and I was here for some time listening to the speech of others as well. Very interesting list of speakers as well lined up. Now, before I get started, I just want to know, I'm sure when he asked, there were no questions initially, but I just at least want to show of hands, okay? How many of you have your own startup? You're all business owners, have your own startup. Okay, fine. And there are two major differences. One is product development, other is services. So, do you do product development or, okay, product development, show of hands. Okay. Services part. Okay. Others, I can assume that you're all software developers or different roles that you play in different organizations. Fine, most of you are, this is a SIDA event, so most of you are software developers and you know what software development is. Okay. Now, of the, whether you're working for an organization or you have your own startup, of the people who have raised your hands, do you have only local presence or do you have global presence? Do you have global presence? Raise your hands. Okay. By global presence, you might have your customers across the globe purchasing your products. There are other people who have only local presence. You only address it to domestic market. Anybody like that? Yeah, I see few hands going up. So the topic was, how do you take it global? So maybe I will try to address on that part, okay? And I'm sure all of you have digitalized your work, whatever it is, okay? If not, that's the first thing that we have to do. And digitalization is, it's a single word, but it means a lot, okay? Your products, are it taken in a digital form to your customers? And it also has to do with what are some products that you use on your day-to-day basis. Okay, so on both aspects you have to see. Now, if you want to, all your businesses, most of you, if you are having it locally, you want to take it to the global market, what do you need to do? Digitalization is, you call it digital transformation, digitalization, or whatever it is. As sir was talking in the morning, Lakshmi Narayanan sir, it's 20 years old or 25 years old. We are in the AI era is what we are saying. Let's not touch AI. I think most of us are talking or getting into that aspects. Let's first get into what we have in hand today. The business that we have, the product that we have. How do we take it to the global market? Okay, for which digitalization is important. By digitalization, I'm sure the product could be anything. The product could be a IT product like how Zoho has, or it could also be I don't know the examples of what you're doing, that's why I'm giving it myself. Or it could also be anything that you purchase. இப்போலாம் வந்து ஒரு கடலை மிட்டாய் வாங்குறதுனா கூட வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல வாங்க முடியும். கரெக்ட்டா? தமிழ்ல பேசலாமா? தமிழ் புரியுமா எல்லாருக்கும்? புரியும் இல்லையா? மதுரையில இருக்கோம், தமிழ் புரியலன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. So என்ன வாங்கணும்னாலும் now we do it in the online way. எல்லாரும் ஷாப் பண்றது ஆன்லைன் ஷாப் பண்றீங்களா? பண்ணுவீங்களா? பண்றோம். Most of it with return. That's what we do. Okay. Now, when you do that, you go search. We know certain market providers who are available. All of us have our own preference of where we want to do that shopping. அது என்ன ஷாப்பிங் பண்றதா இருந்தாலும், it could be what is that? Amazonல பண்ணலாம், Flipkartல பண்ணலாம், Myntraல பண்ணலாம், whatever it is, depending on the product that you want to buy, the marketplace also will vary. But maybe few years ago, before these platforms came into existence, when you want to or something new that you want to purchase, what do? ஏதோ ஒன்று புதுசாக வாங்கணும்னா அதை எப்படி நீங்கள் ஆன்லைனில் வாங்குவீங்க? சும்மா சொல்லுங்க, சரி தப்புலாம் இல்லை. சர்ச் பண்ணுவோம் கரெக்டா? சர்ச் பண்ணி நம்ம அதை பற்றி வந்ததுன்னா வாங்குவோம். ஓகே, ஸோ தட் இஸ் நவ் when you search something, you get some 10 items in the first. You use any search language for that matter. You get some 10 items. Hardly we go to the second page or third page to look at products. Yes, first page la first few results la varadhula we end up with. Okay, so now you are, as business owners, you all say that you have digital presence. Ungaloda brand name illama whatever domain you are addressing to, ungaloda product is a generic product, verum product name mattu search panna, where do you come in the ranking? That is something that you have to work on. Okay, so digitalization doesn't mean that I have a digital presence, I have a website, I have placed everything online, people can use. It's not just that. Where do you get placed? நீங்க புதுசா ஒருத்தவங்க உங்க ப்ராடக்ட்டை சர்ச் பண்ணணும் and you want to go global. ஸோ அக்ராஸ் த குளோப் யார் வேணும்னா உங்கள் ப்ராடக்ட்டை வாங்கலான்னா அதுக்கான சிஸ்டம்லாம் முதல்ல செட் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். பர்ச்சேசிங்லேருந்து எல்லாமே செட் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். அண்ட் people have to find you in the lot of competition that you have, then you have to work on all those things. Okay, சரிங்களா? So those are aspects that you need to take care in your digitalization journey. Okay, and for which there are a lot of things that you need to take care of. So நீங்கள் இப்போ வந்து now possibly some of you would have hosted it in some data centers. Okay, or some of you may have your own data centers also. Now if you take Zoho, we have our own data centers, but there are public data centers available where you would have hosted it. Today it's easy, it's all NLP based app building nu solrom. Enna problem solve பண்றோம்ங்கிறது தான் important. நீங்க பண்ற product, there will be 100 other people who will be doing. கண்டிப்பா there will be competition. அந்த காம்படிஷன்ல இருந்து நீங்க எப்படி டிஃபரன்ஷியேட் பண்ணி காமிக்கிறீங்க அப்படிங்கிறது முக்கியம். ஸோ அந்த டிஃபரன்ஷியேஷன் ஃபேக்டராக நீங்கள் என்ன வச்சுருக்கீங்கன்றது நீங்கள் அனலைஸ் பண்ணணும். ஸோ அப்போது அதை வந்து when you want to take it on a global scale, these are some, I'll say some 2-3 important factors. There are so many more that you need to take care, but இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டாக ஒரு விஷயம் 2-3 விஷயம் சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா, where do you host it? And when you host it, make sure you take care of availability, because whatever you search, it has to be up and running. அப்போ தான் வந்து இப்போ somebody is searching and நீங்கள் சர்ச்சில் ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்துட்டீங்க, உங்கள் ப்ராடக்ட்டை கிளிக் பண்ணி உள்ளே போயிட்டாங்க, வாங்கிட்டு இருக்கும்போது உங்களுக்கு பேமெண்ட்டில் வந்துட்டு ஃபெயில் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, tomorrow nobody is going to come back and buy, and the experience is important. அப்போது wherever you are hosting, wherever you are making it public, is it available? Availability எவ்வளோ இருக்குது, அதை டேக் கேர் பண்ண முடியுமா பார்க்கணும். ஒவ்வொரு பிஸ்னஸும் டிஃப்ரெண்ட், அந்தந்த பிஸ்னஸோட கஸ்டமர்ஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட், உங்கள் ப்ரையாரிட்டிஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். பட் when you want to go global, these are certain things that you need to take care. Availability has to be taken care. And then you have to look at verumane, if it is up and running, it is available, is not sufficient. Performance is important. உங்களுடைய நீங்கள் ஒரு cloud architecture-னு எடுத்தோன்னா நிறைய லேயர்ஸ், இப்போ சார் பேசினார் ஃபார் செக்யூரிட்டிக்கு நிறைய லேயர்ஸ் சொன்னார். நான் ஒரு சிம்பிளிஃபைடாக 4 லேயராக சொல்லணும்னா, at the top it is web layer. எல்லாரும் வந்து உங்களை மொபைல் யூஸ் பண்ணி உங்கள் வெப் ப்ரௌசர் யூஸ் பண்ணி உங்கள் ப்ராடக்ட்டை வாங்குற லேயர். ஓகே, தென் there is an application layer where actually your business logic is residing. You can write that in Java, C++, whatever language you want you can write, but there is an application layer. And then underneath is the platform layer. ஒரு database இருக்கும், ஏதோ ஒன்று கனெக்ட் பண்ணுவீங்க, ஒரு caching framework இருக்கும். I'm assuming all of you are developers and giving some technological terms. And then underneath is the infrastructure layer, which is nothing but your servers, load balancers, firewall, everything is infrastructure. All these are available as service. Application layer is software as service, platform layer is platform as service, infrastructure layer is infrastructure as service. All these components are available. You just have to think of the problem statement, come up with a business logic and build app. It is easy. Building an application is easy. And security aspect on all these layers have to be taken care. That's what he covered. Okay, now I'm going to talk, the second point that I was telling is the performance. All of these components have to be up and running. It is not sufficient if they are up and running. They have to have better performance. None of us, இப்போ நம்ம கிட்டலாம் எல்லாமே வந்து எவ்வளோ ஸ்பீடாக எல்லாமே ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணுறோம். None of us have the time or patience to sit and look at pages that are going to take forever to load. ஒரு பேஜ் லோட் ஆகலைன்னா என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? control R, refresh. Mobile பண்றோமா, airplane mode on off, என்ன பண்ணுமோ எல்லாம் பண்ணுவோம். Because we don't have that patience. ஒரு 2 seconds, 3 seconds, ஒரு 10 seconds wait பண்ணுவோமா, 10 seconds மேல nobody has that patience. நம்ம இப்போ நிறைய வந்துட்டு நம்ம சில்ட்ரன், மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் அஸ் ஆர் இன் சீனியர் லெவல்ங்கிறதுனால சொல்கிறேன், நம்ம சில்ட்ரனை நம்ம நிறைய சொல்கிறோம், உனக்கு எங்கேயாவது பொறுமை இருக்கா? Do we have that patience in the first place? Okay, we also tend to do the same thing. So you put yourself in your customers. When you do that product, உங்கள் ப்ராடக்டை லோட் பண்ணும்போது டைம் எடுத்ததுன்னா they are going to skip and go back or move further. Average industry time says people don't wait more than 2 seconds. Appo where is the problem? There is no point in saying I'm having it up and running. It has to have better performance. So on the performance enga venuna lack agalam. So you have to know where it is lacking. You have to use such tools and see if you want to go global, these are certain things. Neenga inniki inga Madurai host panni idu work aidlam, but inga host pannirukra oru system somebody has to access it from across the globe. What is the performance that you are giving? That is important. And a lot of time people confuse performance with scalability. You cannot address performance problem by adding more servers. It will only pile up. So you need to know that difference and see what you have to do for performance, what you have to do for scalability. That's சொன்னேன், எனக்கு 10 நிமிஷம்லாம் பத்தாதுன்னு. ஓகேங்களா? I'll try to wind up with this. Okay. So you need to understand how you have to do or what you need to do if you want to go for scalability. Security, sir has already covered. There are lot more other things that you have to take care. Integration patti ketanga. I will just finish with this. I call that as ICE. I-C-E. I for integration or integrability, C for customization, E for extension. It is either the product you use or the product you are building. Make sure it has these 3 things. Integration, because you cannot ask people to replace whatever they are using. Your system has to work in an integrable way with the existing systems. Coexisting தான். நான் போய் காம்படிஷனை ரீப்ளேஸ் பண்ணலாம் சொல்ல முடியாது, கோஎக்ஸிஸ்ட் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு பார்க்கணும். Customization solves a lot of problems because everybody's needs will be different, particularly in a product setup. You can't be sitting and doing everything for people. Give that usage, give that liberty to people, to your customers. They can change the name, they can change the UI, they can change whatever they want, change the color, because people's preferences will vary. So make sure you make your products are customizable. Okay, and extension is important. Extensible is API support. People are now citizen coders. Nobody likes to take whatever is given and use it as such. Give me APIs, I will build my own client. I will integrate it with my own platform using APIs. So give APIs or choose products that have APIs. So these are all basic things that you have to take care. So I call this as ICE. Actually, there are many more points. Maybe I think I did this as a video maybe 6 years ago. It's available in Zoho's YouTube channel on strategies to keep in mind when you're building a SaaS product. Okay, I'm just covering few points because that's a 45-minute video. But the main aspect is start thinking globally. Okay, don't have to feel shy that you have to do it only in Madurai. There are all other avenues, the tools that you have to use for monitoring these, or the tools that you have to use for building your own softwares and taking it to the global space. Everything is available. It's only how much you think you will achieve. So think globally, and there are a lot of security aspects as well. I mean, for want of time, I'm not getting into those details. But when you want to go global, lot more factors also need to be considered. But first start thinking. That's important. When you think, you will eventually be there. Okay? Thank you so much. For want of time, I'll stop with this. Thank you.
Please take a seat. Yeah, a lot of... now I can find answers to why I messed up the OTT platform that I built a long time ago. So we'll... Good. I think both of you covered all the points that the questions that I had. I'll open up, for public to ask questions, and then I'll do my concluding remarks. There's one there. There's one there.
Global arena, and that's one thing. And one more thing, though there are a lot of companies, they've been into the field for 10 years, 20 years or 25 years. But there are few companies which within very few days, they become famous. the name becomes a brand like Zoho, HCL. But there are a lot of companies, 20 plus of experiences. Their name is not global.
No, if
But
you're
they
asking
do-
about Zoho or HCL, Zoho has been in existence for 30 years
Yes,
now.
yes.
Okay, it became very viral maybe in
But
the last
even
10 years.
I could also see few companies like the name தெரியுது எல்லாருக்குமே.
And the name இப்போ தெரியும். If you see, they would have been working on it for a long. Okay, that's the one thing. The other thing, if I want to say, in business itself, okay, there are two things. Are you the first their business, anything that you do? Okay, as morning sir was talking about, there is so much to do in the AI world itself. Not just software, any industry you take, there is so much that you can do from India. One example I can give is an automobile and EV is just picking up. There are hundreds and thousands of startups that are waiting to come from there. The first mover advantage is always there. You either be the first mover or do the best in whatever you do that somebody cannot replicate.
See, like என்னோட question என்ன அப்படின்னு சொன்னா இப்போ அது data service
Can you define what is fast in your reference?
first means like globally.
So going to
Yeah,
going
global.
global.
Yeah, yeah. Going global வந்து product fast travel ஆகுதா service அது
இது வந்து
second
இது இப்படி ஜெனரிக்கா சொல்லிடவே முடியாது because it depends on the business, it depends on the industry or the what is it, audience, what you do. There is a lot of factors to it. Okay, maybe you want to add some.
அந்த செகண்ட் வந்து நான் சொல்லிட்டுறேன். மேபி யூ கேன் ஆக்சுவலி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தாட் ஆஃப் இட். ஓகே, இட் இஸ் நாட் தேட் இப்போ எங்களோட சர்வீசஸ் லைக் கால் ஈவன் எனி சர்வீசஸ் ரொம்ப பியூட்டிஃபுல்லாக இருக்குது. globally we are standard எல்லாமே இருக்குது. our customers are very much satisfied. But then reaching that name, how is it possible? That's what I see.
So both these things have, so you will see an immediate traction. Product would take a lot more time given the product fitment and all of that. So this is totally different things and totally different treatment on your balance sheets.
To add to it, today people, everybody sees Zoho is a very successful company. It's all rosy on one side. Okay, it is 30-year-old and I've been with it for 26 years. Today there are 100 products that have been successful. There are 200 products which we tried and failed. Okay, that has not seen the limelight at all, and I have been part of such products. So there will be failures. It depends, and a lot of places where you have to rewrite your entire code because technology is changing. So don't associate, no, I built this has to come out. No, you do whatever you do, you're saying your customers are fine, then you'll have to think about what are other steps, what is that, whatever is the business, I don't know the business or the product. So who are the competitors in this space? What is that they have done that I am missing? How can I differentiate the product? The more deeper you go into your product and the technology that you are working, you will be able to find how you can take it to the next level. So it will again vary depending on the particular industry and the product.
Good. We'll go to the second.
When there is a lot of customization requests come, how do they balance between sticking to the product paradigm vis-a-vis customizing for your customers segments or individual customers? Then it becomes you then come into a quandary whether I'm a service company or a product company. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, so the customization for each customer, it becomes a service you cannot scale. Okay, so you have to make sure in your product you give that capability to the, so when you're building the product you need to keep these things in mind. So that's the product development, and in product development itself there are so many things. There is so many requests that our customers are asking. How do I prioritize? A lot of things gets into that. It's not easy, but in your product make sure you don't sit and do things individually for your customers. Give the option in the products itself to customers, so that will save a lot of time for you.
Again, some would have a technical capability that
I'm not even talking about technical capabilities. There are simple things like accessibility related things, and a customer, I may want to call them as users. Somebody else may want to call it in a different way. I want to customize the logo or rebranding. A lot of things are there. So if it is a complete feature of a product, if you expect your customers to do some coding on top of it, that is not what is customization. Then wherever possible you give API accessibility, let them take and build it on their own. So it's again depending on the product that you're doing. Whatever you do, how you can make sure that you save time by giving that option to customers.
Sure, thank you.
Raju, let me, at of time, somebody should thinking about building white label solutions on the products.
Okay, so maybe sir.
I think it depends. White label means you got to be in a different market, like B2B2C, then you would want to white label it. If it's a direct enterprise sale, and then you don't really need to white label it, or so on. Yes. And so that's a segment, I believe.
Let's assume, I think many of them here are in the other segment, not necessarily on the enterprise play. Now, going back to the question, how much of customization do I allow and all of that, if they don't think early enough, then there will be a lot of strain on the architecture that they have adopted. So is it wait for the product to mature and then see customer requests and then decide, or should they consider this as during the drawing board sessions as well?
I think it should not be an afterthought. It should be thought through initially. Okay. So at least from architecture side, there should be some flexibility. Given today, there's so much need to have APIs and maybe even integrate with AI and things like that. We have to have flexible built in from very beginning.
Okay, I'll add to that. See, bringing in API capabilities, it's important from the beginning.
Yes,
okay, maybe if you want to give some change in the UI, give a white labeling, it can also be an afterthought, but anything that would require a core change, see, don't take too many customizations in the beginning and don't go to a release mode at all. Keep looping, keep iterating. You should know what is your minimum viable product when you have to take it to the market, and that depends on the product also. Sure. Okay. In the architecture space, maybe in the if you want to build it in SaaS, or if you want to take it globally, sometimes you may have to re-architect your models, whatever you have done, you must be ready for that. And whenever you want to bring such changes, don't make it a drastic change. Let the existing system run. Take modularized approach. Do some small changes. Give it to few of your users. See if it is successful, and then try to. Don't do anything that will be harmful to your existing business and your existing customer base. Those are some decisions which you have to take. That depends on your business and your customer needs.
Thank you. One last question, sir.
So, I'm Mahadesha. You know that. Thank you. I think it's a wonderful session, wonderful thought processes from each of the panel members. With IT industry has been going turbulence in terms of volatility, in terms of introducing AI segment. With the Anthropic AI, which you heard about, rattled complete IT stocks in the last week. I'm sure that AI, either in the near or in the future coming days, is going to disrupt the way in which things are happening. I think we all agree with that. And we are seeing those kind of disruptions happening, especially IT services companies as well as SaaS companies. So, with this kind of a thing, introduction, how do you see that industry should strategize in terms of their relevance in the market, continue to be relevant in terms of building those products? Should we rely on those kind of tools which are actually given by those Anthropic or any other open AIs, or should we think about automating with the traditional tools which have been already there in order to take an advantage of that? At the same time, there is a challenge for the workforce also. Should I become a prompt engineer, or should I become something, and become a configurable engineer for those kind of tools? I don't want to see these two things actually. One is industry going rattling change, this change. They have to be sustainable in the industry. At the same time, the workforce also should not be worried about. So what are that we wanted to give it message to?
So, take in a summary, Vijay.
Yeah, so you had previously covered about local skill sets and availability, right? So all of these new LLMs, and they have been quite helpful for us. In terms of moat, I think it's we still, we got to differentiate quite a bit, and it's been customer trust and a lot of years of experience in the market that's helped us, and that's helping us. But what else do we do with LLM? We're still grappling with a lot of things, and but it's been very helpful for us at least.
Okay, maybe I'll just add. See, all the as Lakshmi Narayanan sir was also saying, it's easy today, you give a prompt, your code is generated, but can you take it to production is not yet there. Okay, it's a long journey for that. Okay, and your workforce need to, they don't have to get scared about what is happening, what will happen. They need to upskill themselves. It is irrespective of the technology change. We have seen 3 decades of technology changes. Technologies will keep changing. Are you able to understand and see how I can use it in my product is something that we will see. And at least in the currently what is happening is it's not big LLMs. It has to, or at least what we do is it has to be contextual. Anyway, or see, irrespective of AI, whatever we want to do, we want to bring it to make it easy for our customers. We have been doing automations for quite a long time. AI is an extension of that. Okay, it is also giving you more easily doable things. So your workforce should know what is happening. At the same time, it can't be directly got into the product. They have to see how, and in a matured way, how things can happen. Take it small steps. Big LLMs, it's easy to try, but it is not getting into production so easily. There will be a lot of failure cases. It could be in any things. Even in customer support, the first level of ticketing, whatever it is. Today, if you go do any, IVR calls, at some point, all of us want to say, can you please connect me with a human being? Let me talk. Okay, so we are still there.
Thank you, Raji. Something, yeah. So the success model is going to be always human in the loop, sir. So there's no way we could eliminate humans from the AI work. Thank you, Vijay and Raji, for fantastic sessions. So my notes from the sessions are, Vijay talked about fluidic releases. If you're going global, some of the challenges that we faced early was multilingual support, right? So some of the regions wanted multiple languages. How do you do? And Vijay talked about interoperability. And Raji came up with a nice acronym, ICE. Performance and scalable are 2 different aspects. How do you take care of it early stages? And then Raji also talked about, Madarilarundu na vaanganena super fast work agudhu, but same thing when I do from outside is not happening. So you think of how are you going to host your applications as well. So hope there are a few more questions, so please.
Yeah, I'll be here till 3:30.
Yeah,
okay, I'll take the
please
questions
follow
outside.
With them.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hope all of you were able to pick up some, meaningful and important topics from these discussions. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Raji. Thank you.
Hello, Jay. No, at times Mike does this lot of politics whenever I'm handling the mic. This is casual to me. Thank you. So I think this was very useful session, and Raji ma'am spoke so much about how to express the products globally. It was really very useful, and for upcoming every builders, every person who wanted to showcase their products on online, how to build an industry. So it was very, very, very useful, and thank you, Vijay sir. Thank you, Thiru sir. It was really a wonderful session. I would like to give our chief guest a big round of applause, crowd.